All right, we're going to take a longer look at spam and how it looks and how to deal with it and how to notice it. So, number one, let's go back to the inbox and let's say this is unread and we see chemical concepts is fraud prevention notice and they want to encourage me to switch my payment method, right? Again, that looks pretty suspicious. I don't have a payment method and they tagged it fraud prevention notice, but yet they're encouraging me to do something. So that seems automatically fishy. Number one, when I click on it, like I said, you can notice that it's external. You can notice that it's a marketing campaign email that seems fishy. I've never heard of this company before. They're asking me to change my payment methods, and they've got an attachment with payment info. Those are all telltale signs of something that doesn't seem right. But one other thing that's important, you'll notice that it says unsubscribe down here. One thing that I like to think about is if I've actually subscribed to it, typically up at the top, right about here, it will actually say the word unsubscribe and allow you to unsubscribe from email. So if you've accidentally signed up for marketing emails in the past and they're starting to inundate your email and you're getting frustrated with it, one easy thing you can do is you can always unsubscribe, I should say, right by the name. And I'll give you an example. So I'm subscribed to Google for Education, and you'll notice that there's an unsubscribe button right next to it, which matches the unsubscribe button down on the bottom. In this situation, I know this isn't spam because this is something I actually subscribed to. In this one, I did not subscribe to this. So therefore, that probably makes me want to label it as spam. Some other things to think about. You do have a spam folder. It is typically hidden on the left under your inbox and trash. And here is the spam folder. In here, most of this is garbage. Occasionally, you might want to take a peek at this just to see if there's anything in here that might be useful or accidentally got caught in spam. If something accidentally got caught in spam, you can go through and look at any of these options to put it back into the inbox, but the most important one is pressing not spam. So, for example, this Ohio eTech, my badge is ready, it says. If I feel like this is something I want to go back and activate, and I am going to Ohio eTech, then I could mark that as not spam, or I could mark it as unread or put it wherever I want. You'll notice also that in the spam folder, there is a breakdown of, is there anything in my inbox that has an attachment that was marked as spam? Maybe those are important. Or maybe it was just to me, and you can look through and see if there's anything in there. Some other things that have happened to us in the district. Number one, you're going to want to look for telltale signs of something being suspicious. So, for example, in this situation, one of our teachers was sent something from McAfee. It was basically saying that their subscription info had been lapsed and they were going to be charged $429. And some of the things that they should have looked at were the McAfee logo was wrong. That's not the McAfee logo. It says McAfee. It's kind of in the similar style, but it's not the right color. It's not the right look to the actual logo. 2, the message says it would have been sent to spam. So sometimes you'll see this message that says this message was not sent to spam based on our organizational settings. And the reason why is our organization lets @Gmail come through. So in this situation, it would have put it as spam because it thought it was spam. Google thought it was spam, but we told it it's @Gmail, so we don't want to risk blocking something that's important. So we moved it through anyway. That's a telltale sign something's wrong. Number 3, and this one's one that gets missed a lot. It says it's from McAfee in every respect, except for the email address says Amy Russell 024. So as an example, Google for Education, if I click this little arrow, it says no reply at google.com. So that is a reputable reply. If it says something else, that's a big time problem. So you want to try and recognize that. Number 4, it has a support site and a billing team number, but that's not the actual billing team number or the real site. We actually found the real site and alerted you teachers to that. The product name's wrong and doesn't exist. So if you really wanted to get tricky, you could actually go look for this McAfee all around secure network protection. Those are just words they put together. That's not an actual product. And it lists a debit card and a price that definitely aren't correct. So this is something that should be marked as spam. Another example is this one. So in this one, it was sent to, it made it look like it was coming from Amazon, that your account is locked, et cetera, et cetera. The location's Burundi. That's a telltale sign that something's not correct. And all this gobbledygook up here, this email address, it's tagged Amazon.com, but the actual email address is a bunch of numbers and letters at some random numbersandletters.com. This is a classic phishing scam. Another one that has impacted us in particular is an email spoof. These two have plagued the district for a while. A couple of years, this has happened multiple times. So in 2022, twice, May 26th, we had someone spoof both of our principals, Mike Daring and Corey Bernal. But you'll notice that Mike Daring is actually GES Welch 004 at Gmail, and this one's Moorfield7 at Gmail. The problem with this, at first glance, the big bold name says someone you know. Now you'll notice that both of these emails say exactly the same thing. Kindly share your cell phone number. I need you to take care of something. And it says, the name, and it says principal. Number 1, these are written very strangely. Most of our principals don't write principal underneath their name just by itself. Number 2, we have to be careful to make sure that the email is the correct email. So in these two situations, those are not the correct email. If you reply to this, it ends up putting this name into your compose button, so that every time you type Mike Daring, you actually could potentially be sending information to not Mike Daring. That's the way this particular scam works. They want you to reply to it so that this name gets put into your compose button, and then you end up emailing the wrong person in perpetuity. Like I said, make sure you're taking a gander at this, because the email as it came in had the external badge on it. So to recap, if you think you can unsubscribe, or you think maybe you did subscribe, the unsubscribe button should be there. In this situation, it is not. Number 2, you always want to check the email. Is it the correct email? Number 3, did it have an external badge? If you feel at any time it is spam or phishing, you can go over there and click those. I particularly like the spam one because you can report it as spam and block them at the same time, and or flip it over to phishing if you want to change it in the moment. But that will help you protect your inbox. If you have any questions, please let me know.